Are you ready? It's been a while. Been dealing with a lot of shit. A little of this, a little of that. We're gonna talk about it though. Probably gonna have to be a little patient. Stream's gonna be a little all over the place. But let's get to it. It's gonna be emotional. Gonna be some ups and some downs. It's a song called Awaken Lifeless. The band's A Dozen Furies. Let's fire it up.
Terrorizing. Story was a dream. Awaken. Lifeless.
Let's break it down. Hello, Lauren. Shit's about to get deep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy. That song pumps me up. Lord have mercy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who probably going to be watching this shit tomorrow later on. It's a little late. It's 11:30. You got Mr. Joe over there covering the Raw, which I'm sure was just thrilling as usual. You have Mr. Dave Rose just got offline. He had some interesting not so shit to say. And I guess where we need to start is where the fuck I've been. Couple people know. Most of you, I'm sure, do not. But when we take it back to what Foulmouth Ken, we had this whole argument, we had a fight, and shit got a little sideways, right? Then eventually some personal shit went on. There's a little miscommunication on as to whether he said my job's name here and there. He said it repeatedly. There's no doubt about it. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's what I've been doing. I actually had to reach out to him because, like I said, shit got real. It got very real very fast. Basically, if we're cutting straight to the point, I had some bomb threats called into my job. This was after weeks of harassment. This was after a few prank calls and some calls to where some carry-out orders were made and never picked up. You know, stupid little childish bullshit like that. No harm, no foul. Like I said, the first time it was actually funny. And the more and more it kept happening, it was less funny. But then we got into the threats. There were threats made to the bartenders that worked there. There were threats made eventually of blowing the place up. Apparently, that was what was said exactly. And therefore, we had to get to the point where the Michigan State Police had to step in. They came in and they asked questions as to what was going on. I had to tell them the history of this godforsaken, fucking miserable ass community. And tell them basically everything that I knew. Every channel, every real name, every fucking area that I knew that these real people live. And reports were made. Full reports. And to make a longer story longer, I did reach out to Ken and I asked him what he knew, and again, taking him at his word and, you know, full benefit of the doubt, he said, you know, I don't really know. I don't really know who exactly would do it. He had a few suspicions like I did. Well, come to find out, after some investigating and lots of waiting, honestly, the pressure was put on my boss, and the pressure was put on, most importantly, me. We got to the point where there was actually 2 calls made where the area code and phone number were exactly the same. Apparently someone forgot to block it out. They didn't do the *67 correctly, apparently. And the area code that came back was a New Jersey area code. That's all the information that I was told about it. I was never given a name. I was just given the information that it was a New Jersey area code. I don't know if it was a real number, if it was a landline. Obviously, it's a real number, but I don't know if it was a landline, a cell phone, if it was one of those calling apps that you can fucking get and just make up, or create an account and they'll give you a number, basically. But that's all out of my hands. That's out of my control. That's, that's above my pay grade, and it's in the hands of somebody who's more well equipped to fucking deal with it. So that's being dealt with, right? Again, I don't know if I told Ken all of that. I believe I did, but he has the same suspicions, and he knows the same people that I know that are in that area. But honestly, there are so many people from that general section of the country, man, when it comes to Massachusetts, New Jersey, fucking New York, that whole area. There's so many people in this community from there. So whatever, they'll figure it out when they get to it. And while you guys are sitting around playing with your championship belts and creating these fucking all this shit that's just a made up fairy tale land, that's what the fuck I've been dealing with, among other things. Like I said, man, this shit's gonna get deep tonight. I'm gonna talk about some real shit, some shit that a lot of people in this community are either too afraid to talk about, or frankly they just don't want to talk about it. And frankly, it's honestly nobody's business, but I'm gonna make it your fucking business. I'm gonna tell you. I found out a couple weeks ago, right around that time actually, when I was dealing with the Michigan State Police, at the same fucking time I had that shit going on, I found out that my mom has breast cancer. Now, I'm not telling you guys all this shit because I need anyone to feel sorry for me. You guys are pretty much fucking complete strangers anyway, and I don't need anyone's fucking sympathy, and nor do I really deserve it, honestly. I mean, again, we're all fucking kind of strangers in this shit. But I did have to deal with that. It is in the early stages. Hopefully shit will get ironed out. Hopefully it'll be taken care of. She'll have it removed and we can move on from this. But, it's again, a lot like the other situation. It's completely out of my fucking control. So we'll see what happens. So we got all that shit going on, and frankly, I've been listening to a lot of shit. I've been trying to listen to as much as I can, especially today on my day off. I got to listen to Dave's stream and some of it. I mean, good lord, I couldn't sit around and listen to the fucking all 9 hours of the shit, but I listened to much of it. Been trying to keep up. I've been paying attention to the whole championship belt fucking fairy tale bullshit that's still going on, which if we're being honest, if we're going all the way back, the championship belt thing is what kind of elevated Joe's channel into becoming what it ultimately was at its highest point. But it also led to the downfall of his channel, the beginning of the downfall, because of all the shit that comes along with it. This person's donating for that person, and it's a tough thing to keep in line, and I think Ken will find that out if he hasn't already. He should. He was around when the belt was a big thing. I believe he was the very first fucking winner of the belt on JCS. So he knows how it can get. He knows that it can get nasty. It can get, it's worth it in the meantime. When it's going on, of course, you're getting the money and you're getting the eyes, and, it can be exciting in the moment. But if we've learned anything, that fucking the whole belt thing, man, that turned into a shit show. Especially when you get to the point where you're sending the belt out and people are shady as fuck. Remember S-Dot fucking kept the belt. I don't remember if I followed the whole thing completely. I don't even know what, I think he eventually sent it back or some shit, but regardless, there's a whole bunch of shit that can go on, and it can go sour very, very quickly. But hey, you guys do you, man. It's all good. Do what you gotta do. Again, this is the point where I told you guys we're gonna be all over the place, bouncing back and forth and around and fucking my major point about that is you just like Joe got to the point where he was using these fucking idiots. I mean, you can go all the way back to Tommy and C. More recently, Bullfrog and Tony, all these people who are over the top sort of personalities, right? All these people that put on a crazy show. It's all cool and it's all fun. And I don't blame Joe for stepping on these people for the donations and the recognition. You know, it's kind of smart. It's kind of what Ken's doing now with Dave Rose and YR. I mean, you have YR doing a show with Shannon, for Christ's sake. And honestly, that's exactly what YR has relegated himself to. That's what he deserves. He deserves to be stepped on and used for donations at this point, because he's caused so much trouble in this fucking community. Tony put himself out there real quickly, and he real quickly found out that he could get his ass smacked right back down. And now he's in the middle of this whole shitstorm. He talked earlier about how he was manipulated by YR, and regardless of what you think about YR, the guy's a little smarter than he fucking looks. I wouldn't say a lot smarter, but a little. And extremely manipulative. And I can see how Tony would fall into that trap. It's very easy to do. He spoke about how YR was telling him, yeah, dude, be this crazy douchebag and get people to hate you and fucking play the heel and this and that. You're doing a great job. And Tony was like, dude, this shit ain't really working. I don't feel good about it. People who I thought were supporting me are fucking falling off and they don't like it. And YR was reassuring him that he was doing the right thing. And Tony now knows that he wasn't doing the right thing. But in the same sense, Tony, you're still doing some of that heelish shit, going the old Scott way when Scott was drinking, and the YR way of being fucking Weasley, dude, and it's not going to get you anywhere in the end. You if you want to be something in this community more than what you are now, you got to stay true to yourself. Yeah, you can have some wild, wacky, off the wall shit like Joe does and like Ken does, but you got to stay true to yourself and what you do. Ken is like the wacky comedy guy that, likes to be everyone's friend. That's who he is probably in real life. Joe, he's the wacky, off-the-wall fucking shock jock type guy. Class clown, I'm sure he was in high school or middle school. I don't even know if he made it high school. But he's also in the wrestling shit, and he's staying true to that as we speak. He's doing his Raw review. Even though he doesn't have Jake there and his wrestling reviews aren't the same, and it's barely a wrestling review anymore, and a lot of that has to do with WWE, he's still staying true to himself to a point. And that's what you got to do if you want to make it. Simple as that. And I only say that because you, Tony, have said that it's your goal to be something on YouTube. You wanted to do the streaming shit, and you wanted to get the recognition and the subscribers and the money and all that shit that comes along with it. You said that. But doing all this shit back and forth with Dave Rose and YR and Ken and whoever else wants to do the drama bullshit, it's not going to get you anywhere any more than what you're getting, like fucking 12, 10 viewers, whatever the fuck it is, dude. Depending on who else is live, Simple as that. Myself, I came out and said a long time ago that this isn't what the fuck I wanted to do. And if it was, it would be something that I'm interested in. I was never fully interested in drama. I just got fucking dragged into it from Joe's community because his community compared to fucking everyone else's has a lot of trolls, man. When it comes to just the total amount of people and the amount of those people that are trolls, it's fucking insane, dude. And it's because of it's wrestling fans, and it's the type of people who are interested in the wrestling, just like the same people who are interested in the fucking drama. I think a lot of people are fucking lonely. A lot of people like the wrestling because it's an outlet. It's a fantasy land, you know, just like the title belts and all this other shit. I get that part. I completely get that part. You know, I just in January turned 40 years old, which, as we know, when you hit 40, apparently in this community, it does mean that you're fucking over the hill and you might as well just be dead. You know, it's hilarious. And it doesn't bother me at all. I don't give a flying fuck. I'm happy and I'm proud and honored to fucking grow old. I hope I grow to be 90, honestly, as long as my health is good and my brain is good. Now, if I can't walk or talk, then fucking put me out of my misery immediately. No problem at all. But in the 40 years, I've gone through a lot of shit. I really have. Which I'm sure most people have. I'm not sitting here saying that I've had it worse than anyone else, but I've had a lot of shit happen to me. Which, that leads me to the point about with Ken. Ken has been there for a long time doing this shit. Now, he knows what's up. I had that conversation with Ken, and while he reassured me that he doesn't want anything to do with the doxing and the threats and all this crazy shit, just like he said earlier, or I don't know if he said it earlier. I believe it was a stream that Dave was playing where Ken said that he doesn't want his name attached to any of that shit. But here's the problem. In the same sense, when he said, I don't want my name attached to that, and Dave Rose was telling him to shut it down, he's like, dude, just tell me to shut it down and I'll do it. You know, and for whatever reason, Ken couldn't do it. He couldn't say, Dave, what was it, stand down? Remember the fucking stand down and stand by shit? He wouldn't tell Dave to stand down, which kind of goes against what he was telling me in our conversation, that he told me that he would tell anyone that they need to shut that shit out completely. Not just, you can't just say you don't want your name attached to it. You need to say, hey, if you're doing this shit or even thinking about doing this shit, shut it the fuck down. You are in that position to say that, Ken, and you failed to do so for whatever reason. I understand that Dave kind of had you backed in the corner, and he kind of wanted to see if you'll do the whole strong arm situation, right? And regardless of the way you look at that, and if you think that was kind of beating around the bush, you could have just said, Dave, if you're going to be a part of my channel, dude, if I'm going to have you on my fucking shows, you need to stop all of that. All of the attacks, all of the doxing, the fucking threats, all that bullshit, stop it. That's all you had to say, and you wouldn't say it. Do I think that there's a part of you that is afraid of Dave Rose? I don't know. I can't say that. I know that there is for YR and many other people. Sure, they've even admitted to it. But you had the opportunity to shut the shit down and prove once and for all that not only do you not want anything to do with it, but you don't want the people that you're involved with to have anything to do with it. And you couldn't go that far. I'd like to hear how you explain that one eventually, whenever you do, or if we get a chance to talk about it. Because That's not what you were saying when we were talking about it, dude. It seemed like you were vehemently opposed to what was going on with me. And you should be vehemently opposed to any of that shit that's going on with anyone else, if that's how you truly feel. So that goes to my next point. C-Man. First of all, change it. Just fucking change it, dude. There's one C anything in this fucking community. You're listening to him right now. Change it. There is no fucking C-Man. You're still a young buck. You don't know what the fuck's going on. That's why when you get into these conversations with Dave, he has the experience and the age to shut your ass down when it comes down to it. You know, you might have a little gotcha moment with him here and there. Just like you did earlier tonight when it was brought up that he showed fucking Scott's dead grandfather's obituary live on stream. You had a little gotcha moment, but then Dave reeled you in. This is just experience. He reeled you in and quickly made you just go, okay, well, that's all I had to say, and I'll take off. So that'll come with experience. You'll get there. I don't expect you to understand at your age. You are quite a bit younger than us, but these are the tactics that Dave Rose is really good at. He's a professional manipulator. He's a professional born loser. You know, this is what he lives for. He lives for this shit on YouTube and getting under people's skin and fucking acting like he's high and mighty. That means something to Dave Rose. When it comes to real life shit, real life experience, outside of this internet bullshit and this he said, she said bullshit, he doesn't have it. He does not have that experience. I have it. I have it from a very long time ago. I'm talking from being out on my own when I was 16 years old, having my own apartment, going to school, working full time. All this shit when I was 16 years old. Jump ahead. That's when I had my first experience with children. When I was 20 years old. I thought I was in love. I thought I was going to have a child with this person. And we were going to be the great American dream, you know, the great American family. I remember mentioning to her, you know, if this is what you want, if you want a child, you want all this shit. And I'm 20 years old, mind you. You don't really know shit when you're 20 years old. Let's be honest. But I knew if I was going to have a child, I wanted that child to have a mother and a father. And that child deserved to have a mother and a father in the same home. And it should be the biological mother and the father. Right? So, of course, young love, lust, whatever the fuck you want to call it, she agreed. So she got pregnant. Things were rocky, ups and downs, just like anything. Not gonna fucking bore you. Long story short on that, she decided she wanted to be with someone else when the child was fucking not even 2 years old, right? Not even 2 years old. So she took off, left me in the house alone. So I'm like, all right, well, I don't need all this shit anymore. I'll move somewhere else. I'll get a roommate, and, you know, I'll keep working, and I'll do the child support bullshit, and I'll do my best to fucking see the kid and all this shit. Well, time flies, man. Time flies when that happens. And when you skip ahead and you have someone who bounces around. This is what I didn't know when I got with her. Apparently, before I got with her, she liked to bounce around man to man. and she never worked. I knew she never worked, but I didn't know she bounced around for a roof over her head. I didn't know that part. So she kept that same fucking, I guess, lifestyle, if you want to call it that. She kept that same lifestyle for years, man. Years. And honestly, over time, man, it gets rough. It gets aggravating, I guess, when someone's constantly bouncing around city to city, fucking county to county. I mean, she was at one point 300 miles away. You know, and I guess that's when I should have been more aggressive and tried to get the child to be around me. But for whatever reason, I didn't. For whatever reason, I can't explain it. It was just like I said, time fucking flew. But after that, when you have someone bouncing around so much, man, you gotta start focusing on yourself, and that's what I did. Or at least I tried to. So, eventually, this is like 5 years later, when my son, I believe, is roughly 7, ended up meeting someone else. Ended up getting married. Blah, blah, fucking blah. Now, if you want to talk about my judge of women, Jesus Christ, it fucking sucks. Okay? When it comes to judge of character and people, I'm probably above average, but when it comes to women, fuck no, dude. You need something to get at me about? It's my judgment in women, and fucking maybe the ability to keep them. So anyway, pregnant again, family, father, mother, all that shit. Once again, yeah, sounds great. Let's try it. This is something I really want. I want a child in my home, man. I don't want to have a child with someone who's fucking bouncing around the state. I'm fucking a couple times out of state. So, pregnant. Bam. Baby. Bam. Year later. Little girl's a year old. The mother decides she doesn't want to be around anymore. She says, I'm going to move in with my mother in Kansas. Okay. All right. So what do you say? What do you say to that one? All right. See you later. I mean, I can't fucking force you to stay here. If that's where you think you're going to be happier, go for it. So here we are again. This whole thing with having a kid out of state this time. Fucking in Kansas, of all places. Lose contact, get depressed. This time it fucking really hurt. You know what I mean? This is fucking not even close. Like, how the fuck are we going to work this shit out? Again, was there some things I probably could have done to mitigate her being out of state? Possibly. Young, dumb, fucking at this point just super depressed. Few years passed by, man. Few years passed by. Get a call. Hey, by the way, just wanted to tell you. I think the kid's fucking 4 at this point. By the way, that baby we had, supposedly, that's not yours. Not yours at all. What? Are you fucking kidding me? I got a tattoo on my arm of this little girl's initials. She's not mine. What the fuck? All right. Maybe I should opt out, dude. This isn't going the way I fucking wanted it to go. I'm way too young to be dealing with this shit. Okay, so I guess we'll do the test thing, and honestly, I can't be paying fucking child support on 2 kids, if one of them's not mine and fucking out of state. Let's be real, right? Who the fuck can live? So, apparently in the end, she was actually honest this time. Child, was not mine. It would have been nice to know that before the child was almost 5 years old, but Nonetheless, a little bit of weight is lifted. I mean, lost another child, kind of, right? So a few more years pass, and during this time, I'm like, you know what? I'm so pissed that I hope some karma comes back and fucking bites somebody in the ass, dude. They fucking deserve it. I'm still here in the same place. Am I really that bad of a person to where these people would fucking lay with me, tell me they want to have a child with me, and in the end decide that that's not what they want? You know, it's one thing to lose a girlfriend. You know, that's fine. We can handle that. But losing a family, a child, you can only take that a few times. At least I can only take it a few times. Most people, I'm sure, couldn't fucking handle it once. Let's be real. So, some more years pass by. I find out this child is 12 years old with a super rare case of cancer. So I go back to the karma thing. Fuck, man. Probably shouldn't have said that. Jesus Christ. I mean, this, I guess if you believe in karma, is some fucking karma, but this is some horrible ass karma. A little girl eventually dies at the age of 12. And all the feelings of I shouldn't have done this, I should have done this, I shouldn't have done this, are flowing back from this girl, from this woman, I should say, my ex-wife. And what do you really say to that? Other than, I mean, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for our loss. More importantly, I'm sorry that this fucking little 12-year-old girl only got 12 years on this earth. On this wonderful earth, this beautiful fucking country. So, motherfucker, man. Not going good, right? By this time, I'm thinking, man, as far as relationships go, I could give a fuck less if I ever have one. Honestly. I really, really could give a fuck less. But when these years pass by and shit happens and people get lonely, people eventually have to open up. So I opened up to someone who honestly was probably one of the best people that could have been out there for me. It was a woman who had a lot of the same interests. She had a lot of goals and was absolutely great to me. But the thing was, she said she wouldn't mind to have another child, but she already had a child. And this child was a little girl. And this is the story I'm getting to. A lot of you might know about this because it only happened a few months ago. But, fucking rambling on, dude. Dated this girl for, I believe, 6 years. Roughly 6 years. We broke up. It was amicable this time. You know. She wanted to go a different direction in her life. I wanted other things in my life. It's all good. We still remained friends. She found someone else. Had a couple kids with this guy, and fucking A, man. This guy ended up buying a motorcycle, right? His first motorcycle. And I believe the second time that he rode that motorcycle, he thought it was a good thing. It was a good idea to put that particular ex's daughter on the back of it. Turned out it was a bad idea. He was going too fast. He lost control. He fucked himself up badly. But that little girl, who I knew when she was really little, was 16 years old and ended up dying. Holy fuck, dude. What? What the fuck? Okay. You know, what do you say to that? Sorry for your loss. Sorry for everyone's loss. But more importantly, sorry for that little girl not being here anymore. And it is a little girl in my mind, 16 years old. So, motherfucker, man. Jesus. What else, right? What else can go wrong? This is what I go back to when I talk about children to you guys. When it comes to Heist Man, when him and I got into about his kids, letting his kids cuss up a storm. You know, kids are innocent, man. I have this fucking thing about kids in my heart. I always have. I always will. I don't like to see any kid fucking subjected to any of this shit. My kid is 19 years old right now. My son is 19 years old. I've never once cussed in front of that kid. Ever. Not once. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be done and to any extent by anyone. Okay? I'm just saying that's how the fuck I am. So that's how I look at shit. Just like when it went to the thing about Scott talking to fucking pubescent children about sex. Heist Man letting prepubescent children cuss up a storm. This shit hits at me, man. It fucking gets to me a lot. It really does. When it comes to you grown-ass adults, fuck every one of you. I could give a shit less. I'll piss on your grave. But when it comes to innocent children, don't fuck with me. Keep it away from me, actually. So, some more years pass by. By then, we're extremely fucking on the edge when it comes to it's just not meant to be when it comes to children and myself, right? Well, I met someone else. Who, again, already had a son this time. When you guys make fun of RP for being with women with children, dude, so many women have children before the age of 30. I mean, if you find any woman over 30 that doesn't have children, they're a fucking rare breed, dude. Seriously, especially around this area. So I don't get on people about fucking dealing with single moms. And what the fuck does it matter anyway? If you're a real man, you're going to step up and be what you need to be for that child. That child probably doesn't need a father, but that child might need a father figure. So fucking step up and do it. If you're man enough to lay there and have sex with a woman, be man enough to fucking stand up and stand in and be that male fucking role model. So, met this person, and this honestly was the last straw. The absolute last straw. I'm 30, I believe I was 36, maybe 35. Let's say 35. 35, 36. With this woman, she ends up getting pregnant. So here we go again. This time I'm thinking, man, I'm a fucking moron. But also in the back of my mind, this is the last, obviously, the very last shot at me having that family. Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to jump right to the fucking ending. This girl decided to have an abortion, which I am 100,000,000% against. Any abortion, period, in any circumstance. I know a lot of people don't share those same sentiments. And for me, it's not religious. For me, it's just a life is a life. So you're already fucked up when you had the abortion. But you fucked up majorly when you waited until after the fact to tell me that you had the abortion. And the only reason I found out was because I pressed about it. And I tried to find out. Because if it was up to you, you would have just kept it straight that you lost the baby. You lost the baby. Holy shit, right? What the fuck, dude? What in the fuck? You know, a lot of you guys talk about, oh, this guy has a woman, this guy doesn't have a woman. This guy's got a wife, he doesn't have a wife. This guy's wife's fat, this guy's wife's ugly, this guy's wife's a bitch. Bro, in any instance that somebody can make some shit work, regardless of all the bullshit that goes on, I'll tell you what, either one, you better be extremely fucking happy and you better be in the perfect situation. And if you're not in the perfect situation and you can make it work to where someone didn't do something so terrible to you, congratulations. Okay, congratulations. But I also know there are so many people in this community who have never even had even one of the fucking situations, the real life situations that I've had. Not even fucking one of them. So they don't really know how to act when it comes to this real life shit. They don't know how to put themselves out there because they're probably afraid to have any of this shit happen to them. That's why a lot of you are single. That's why a lot of you won't even attempt to talk to women. In Dave Rose's case, I think it's just because he's too much of a prick for any woman to want to talk to him. Well, let's get that straight right out the box. But also, I'd rather, you know, this is me talking. I would rather go through the shit that I've gone through than to be so fucking miserable and so much of a fucking prick like Dave Rose to where he's never even had the opportunity to go through it. Therefore, you get this guy who's so lonely and miserable sitting in his father's house. And I don't care about that. I don't care about whose fucking house he's sitting in. But it's the fact that his attitude, his outlook on life, he's so fucking miserable that that's the only place he feels safe. That's it. As for Tony, when I see him streaming for fucking 13 hours, I see him smoking weed all fucking day, playing a video game for fucking over half a day, while his girlfriend's in the other room doing God knows what else. It makes me think that maybe I don't understand what it's like to be in these kinds of relationships. You know, back in the day, it seemed like people did shit together. They went to the movies. They went out for walks. They talked to each other, actually. They didn't yell into the next room once every 5 hours. You know what I mean? So when it comes down to it, I probably should just fucking be single, right? Well, in my case, hopefully we have a happy ending. Hopefully we will have it. I'm actually talking to someone now who I've been involved with for a while. We're actually going to Miami April 5th. We talk to each other. We converse. That's the only way I'll have it. And we'll see what happens. I'm not going to give up on women because I absolutely fucking love women. I absolutely love them. Even after all the dirty shit they've done to me, I'll always love them. In the same sense, I don't fucking need them. Just like I don't need anything. I've scraped by in life with the bare minimum. The bare minimum. So I know what I can go through, I know what I can handle, and I know what I can do to push through. And again, as long as my body's functional, my brain's functional, I hope I get to live to see fucking 90, 95. Now, as hard as I've lived, it's a fucking large stretch. Very large stretch. But a lot of you people need to fucking understand that this shit flies by, man. You talk about being 40 years old, right? Like I said earlier, I just turned 40. I've been through so much shit. I feel like I've lived 5 different lives. I really, really do. And it's why I have no problem putting myself out there. You can know my name. You can know where I live. You can know where I work. You can threaten me. There's nothing you can do to me that has not already been done. But to bring it full circle, when you're fucking with someone's business and that person actually has the money, the time, and knows the people to get the shit taken care of, well, you've gone way too far. Whether it's Tony having someone do it, whether it's SC Steve or fucking Jacob RP, whoever's in New Jersey, among others, to make fucking bomb threats to somebody's place of business, you have gone to a world that there will be an ending to. And it's going to be very fucking uncomfortable for you. Very uncomfortable. And Ken, if you are really so against it and you really want the people to be held accountable, then stand up, be a man, and tell Dave Rose to put an end to all of the bullshit. Every last bit of it. No more names, no more addresses, no more places of work. No more wives, no more girlfriends, no more personal shit. Period. At all. And if you do, you will not be a part of my channel, and I will have nothing at all to say to you. Not just some bullshit like you said, saying, oh, you do what you want to do, but I don't want to be a part of it. No, Ken, that's not good enough anymore. You know where we stand now. You know what we've gone through, and you know where this is headed. So stand up, be a man, and put a fucking end to it. Go ahead and use YR and Dave Rose and all these fucking idiots to get the donations and get the fucking whatever the fuck you're trying to get out of this stupid ass fucking community, which I've been over for a long time. And for anyone who says go away, fuck you. I'll go away when the fuck I want to go away. I've been here before a whole lot of you, most of you, if we're being honest. And I am the only C anything in this community. C man, change it. Fucking change it now. You're C boy. Or fucking take the C out of your name, actually. That's where we're at now. Take the C out of your fucking name. Just be man. How about that? I'll let you be man. You don't know shit, son. You don't know shit. You fucking want to play with fire and all this other bullshit that's going to happen, that has been happening to me. What are you going to do when it happens to you? Shit is real now. It's not fucking somebody getting drunk and talking shit online, on the stream late at night, talking about the fucking FBI in Canada or the RCMP in fucking Dallas, Texas. Get a grip. All of you need to get a fucking grip. All of you need to wake the fuck up. Seriously. Dave Rose, if you're evil, if you're the one that had something to do with this shit, then you're going to get what you've always had coming. Same thing goes for SC, Tony, Jacob, whoever the fuck else was involved in the shit that's going on with me. It's out of my hands. Good luck. Good fucking luck. Have